Singapore, a city-country of 6 million people made up of various ethnic influences. It is famed for both the quality and diversity of its food scattered in every street, alley, and corner of this country. In this video, I cover my top 5 local foods I must eat each and every time I come back to this beautiful country. Simply put, there's just no place like Singapore. Whenever I visit Singapore, one of my must-have dishes is the Malaysian-style Wonton Mee that is very different than that of the Hong Kong-style Wonton Mee that I would frequently eat growing up as a kid. The famous Wage Haogong Wonton Mee stall located at the Old Airport Road Hawker Center is absolutely legendary and is usually my first stop regardless of the time of day whenever I first arrive to Singapore.
Alright, so that was an easy bus ride. Dropped us off about a block or two away from this colorful building, which is, in my opinion, one of the best hawker centers located in Singapore. I've been coming here for years, but they have a lot of good food options. Now it is a Sunday, so there are going to be some food vendors that are closed. So we're making our way there now. And the food stall that I like is the number 2 stall. It's called Wage, famous Wonton Mee. And it's a Southeast Asian style twist on how you would typically have Wonton Mee. And I've never been able to find this in the United States, at least in California. Now, if you guys are watching this video and you know of a place that makes Malaysian style Wonton Mee, let me know in the comments below. And as you can see, we're here during non-peak time on a Sunday. Now later on in the evening today, it's gonna get quite jam-packed, but there's already a line of people waiting to order from the stall. So I'm about 5 customers in line. It moves pretty fast. Generally, a word of advice, if you're coming to the hawker centers in Singapore, know what you want to order in advance. So you can see from the menu that there's multiple items that they serve, up to 10 main entrees on the menu, the core menu itself. And the one I always usually go with is just the number 4, which is the fried wonton noodle. It's a dry style, and it comes with a combination of boiled or steamed wontons with deep fried wontons as well. And then they put a little bit of chashu and some bak choy. And what's special about this dish is actually the sauce that they use to kind of marinate and coat it all together to make it spicy for you. So if you don't want it spicy, you have to specifically tell them you don't want it spicy. It's a cash-only business. They don't accept credit cards. There is a QR code that you can use as an alternative form of payment, but if you're coming from international locations, the easiest way is just pay by cash. Thank you. All right, and what I like to do is all the good sauce that I mentioned with the chilies are located at the bottom of all the noodles. Now these noodles, if they're fresh, and the way they should be very, very springy and bouncy. They loaded up with some noodles here today. All right, the first thing I'm gonna do is actually bite into one of these fried wontons. Crispy, very tender on the inside. All that sauce just absorbs into that wonton skin. Wow. I'm going for a bite of the noodles. Try to get a piece of chashu there as well. Wow, very good. There we go. Very bouncy, very springy, like I said. Those noodles were so hard to separate that I had to inhale so much that some of that chili, the fumes from that chili kind of went into the wrong lung way, which is why I was coughing. But it's very good. Wow, it is on the spicier side. And then here are one of those boiled wontons. Again, smothered with all that good chili sauce. Good. Wow. Chashu right here. Yeah, that stew is still really hot. You can see the steam coming out of it. Oh, wow. Yeah. Very hot, but what's nice about it just kind of washes all that grease and the chili down, so like you kind of have a fresh palate here.
Now, no visit to Old Airport Road Hawker Center for me is complete until I also have some refreshing chilled dessert. And one of my personal favorites is the silky almond flavored tofu pudding served at the Lo Buen soya bean curd just a couple of aisles over.
So as you can see, they have different flavor profiles of the tofu pudding. I usually like to just go with the almond one, but there's different flavors for everybody. And it's very, very refreshing on a hot day. Thank you. We're gonna devour this so quick. Oh yeah, look at that. Wow. How do I describe it? It's not like almond, but it's almost like it's got like a toffee flavor in a way. A creamy toffee flavor that's very refreshing and cold. There's no real texture other than like it's silky cream that you swallow. Whoop, whoop, whoop. So good, yeah. Wow, I just want to drink it.
Another one of my favorite dishes to have whenever I'm visiting Singapore is a Chiu-jiao style noodles and minced meatball soup served at the Ama Chi Min, also known as Grandma's Noodle Stall, located at the Food Republic food court at the Parkway Parade shopping mall.
Thank you so much. Okay. It's just a soup noodle dish, and it comes with a bowl of noodles, and you can actually request a type of sauce to make it in. The M1 item on their menu is spicy seasoning that they use, but in this particular case we went with the non-spicy version. And then to supplement that, they give you a bowl of soup that has pork balls, and then in addition to the pork balls there's a lot of minced pieces of pork as well. So it's a very pork heavy soup dish to kind of pair it all together, and we're gonna dig right in. So as you can see here, the soup broth, there's like so much minced pork, and then on top of that they have these pork balls as well. It's very, very flavorful. These two, the noodles and the soup itself, goes very, very well together. Now, I wouldn't suggest mixing it together. I would recommend keeping it separate, and you just take a little bit of soup as you bite into the noodles as well. Very flavorful. You can taste some like fried shallots. They top it off with a lot of fried shallots, and there's a lot of cilantro in there as well. I'm gonna try one of these meatballs. The meatball has a lot of flavor in itself too, so the broth is very flavorful, very, very savory. Plenty of flavor in that particular dish here. And so for the noodle dish here, you can see it's just a dark soy sauce mix that they marinated the noodles with. Very, very simple. Take a bite of this. Very greasy, as you can see. But yeah, it's a dark soy sauce, more on the sweet and savory side. Very, very good. Go back to the soup here.
If you're hungry with a big appetite, also located a few stalls down from Grandma's Noodles is one of our go-to Hainanese chicken rice stalls called Wei Nam Gei.
It's actually a place I used to always come to when we were living here in Singapore, and I'm actually just going to get one plate of chicken rice. It comes with a bowl of soup, and paid a little bit extra to do both the steamed and the roast chicken. So it's going to cost me about 7 Singaporean dollars for the half-half setup here. And so you can see there's the chicken rice, the bowl of soup that comes with it. And they drizzle all that good sauce is what gives that chicken all the good flavor. Yeah. Thank you so much. All right, first things first, let's just try some of the soup. Yeah, see, very, very simple soup broth. Typically the chicken rice is going to be cooked in the fat and the drippings of the chicken itself. And I like how this looks very, very flavorful. Yeah, and taste the aroma of the chicken. All the drippings, the grease, the flavor from the chicken that they cook. Yeah, very good. All right, so I did the half and half. On the left there is a steamed chicken with no skin on. And then there's a little bit on the right side, which is the roast chicken, where they leave the skin on. And the skin here is very, very tender. It's not crispy in any way. So I'm gonna try the one with the skin first. That sauce is what gives it that really, really good flavor. All right, I'm gonna try some of this steamed version of it with no skin on. Get all that good sauce. Yeah, slightly more tender than that roast version of it. Very good. And it tastes very, very similar because of all that sauce that they use, right?
In addition to Wei Nam Gei, another one of my preferred spots is Katong Delicious Boneless Chicken Rice located in the Katong Shopping Center on Mountbatten Road. There's also the ever so popular Tian Tian Hainanese Chicken Rice located within the Maxwell Hawker Center that I recently had a chance to dine at during a long layover stay in Singapore. To see my review on Tian Tian Hainanese Chicken Rice, please visit my channel or see the video above. As foodies with an adventurous palate, we always try to pay a visit to the area of Geylang. What was once renowned as the red light district of Singapore, Geylang is a great place to visit for some amazing food.
And the reason why we're here is not for the red light district, it's for the famous frog pongee. It's a dish that we actually personally really enjoy. And whenever we have an opportunity to come here, we always try to hit up that place to get some of that delicacy, if you will, to fulfill our cravings. So as you can see, it's all outdoor seating. So we just got to come up, grab a table, and place an order. The name of this place is called Geylang Lor 9. So we came in, there was actually a few empty tables, so we just sat down, and they actually sat us all the way at the very end. But it's outside, it's nice and cool here in Singapore today, and we're here to dine in, and we ordered actually 2 frogs, and there's multiple recipes. You can go with the plain version, you can go with a ginger and spring onion, and then the third option is a very fried chili, more spicy version. So we went with the middle one, which is just good ginger, spring onion with some plain porridge. And then we also ordered some sambal kangkong, which is a vegetable dish. And sambal is more of like an Indonesian spice that they stir fry it, and it gives the vegetables a very, very aromatic, chili, savory flavor. There you go, guys. There's the sambal kangkong right there. And then in one clay pot that they bring out is just the skinned frog, and it looks like chicken and fish together. You see all the joints over there. Very, very tasty looking. And then there's just a plain congee that you mix the frog into. They top it off with some chives or green onions. There we go. Wow. Pungent, super powerful, but not a bad pungent. The sambal sauce, it's like a chili with fermented type of chili. Very good. The clay pots that they bring it in is like scorching hot, and so they actually put the clay pot on a metal plate so you don't burn yourself. But that's what actually keeps the jok, or the congee, I keep calling it jok because that's what the Chinese name for it is. And the frog, tingai or frog, excuse me, is actually kept very, very hot as well. So you kind of have to let it cool down, just kind of give it a few blows, otherwise it's just going to scorch your mouth. And so what you do is you actually scoop some of this congee into your bowl, and then you actually dig for some of the skinned frog legs, cooked in that ginger and scallion sauce, and you just top it off into your bowl of congee. And all that sauce is what makes that jok, or the congee, taste very, very good. All right, get a scoop of that congee first with all that sauce and some of the ginger and scallions. Ooh. That's hot, but very, very tasty. Jeez. Very good. Wow. All right. Finally gonna dig into some of that frog leg. You can see the joint there, the frog bone, like a frog drumstick in a way. But there's multiple pieces, chunks of meat kind of just dangling off of it, so I can kind of rip them off. There we go, and just kind of eat it with the jok. It almost looks like cloves of garlic in a way, but that's the frog meat right there, guys. Yep. Wow. Good. Now, if you've never had frog, in my opinion, the texture and taste is kind of like fish and chicken combined. Some people get grossed out by the idea of eating frog, but like for me, I mean, if you like chicken and you like fish, it's kind of like the best of both worlds. Those chunks of meat right there just kind of come right off the moment you poke into it. And it's always good to get some ginger and scallions to kind of help offset that fishy flavor. Got a bone, a little frog bone. There we go there. This is the last piece of meat dangling from that drumstick. Good. Tell you what, like every piece has so much flavor because of that sauce. And then look at this piece here. It's like probably one of those joints, or perhaps that's like the hip bone of the frog. I don't know which part this is, but that has a lot of meat. It's like kind of like one of the joints of the crab where there's a lot of meat all in one cluster. That's what that looks like right here. Wow. So when you first get seated, there are no menus they're going to give you. There's no QR code for you to scan. The menu is actually located on the side of the building. So you got to walk over here and see what you want to order. And there's only a few items, right? So like I said, there's the different types of frog preparations that they do, the plain, the ginger onion, the spicy version, and just a whole slew of other types of seafood options for you to choose from. So if you got a big appetite, you can order things like barbecue prawn, special fried chicken, some cockles and clams, oyster omelet, which is very, very popular here as well. And they also look like they have a dish of deer meat. Interesting.
The next item on my list is a comfort dish called Bak Kut Teh, which is a pork rib soup dish that is braised in an herb and spice-rich broth. Bak Kut Teh is often eaten with plenty of side dishes including blanched vegetables drizzled in an oyster and sesame-based sauce, including fried dough sticks that we call yao jia guai or youtiao in Mandarin. The dish is served at multiple establishments such as the famous Songfa Bak Kut Teh, as well as the original Nung A Siao located in a very local area that I paid a visit to during my most recent trip back to Singapore. To check out my recent dining experience at Nung A Siao Bak Kut Teh, please visit my channel or click the video link above. Whether you're a local or a visitor, this country offers some of the best food on the planet for those who can appreciate the tastes of Southeast Asian cuisines. Having lived in Singapore for almost 3 years at one point in my life, I fell in love with this country and I attribute a lot of that to the endless abundance of food. If you enjoyed today's video, please be sure to like and subscribe to my channel to continue following me on my food and travel adventures. Thank you so much for watching and I look forward to seeing you in my next video.